I'll kick it off. So, Brian, employee retention credit. I've heard of R&D tax credits, but I haven't heard of the employee retention credit yet. You blew my mind when you first talked about it. Can you explain to people in my network exactly what the employee retention credit is and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So, this credit came out at the same time as the PPP loans back in April of 2020 as part of the government's COVID relief. And back then, you had to pick between PPP and this credit, and the difference was money now versus money later. And so, everybody's like, "Well, give me the money now." So
Of
everybody
course.
went PPP loans, right? Like, no, I don't want to wait. So the employee retention credit went widely unused for 2020. At the end of 2020, Congress looked back and said, all right, well, nobody did this. So let's change it. And the big change was if you took a PPP loan, you can now also take advantage of this employee retention credit. So even being in the tax world, tax credit consulting world, it took us 2 months to realize that as well. So,
Hmm.
so it really, they made this change and nobody knew. And so, over last year, certain people were starting to realize, but we're still talking to people every day who think that, no, I don't qualify or even don't even know what it is. But it's simply this: if a business was negatively affected by COVID 19, either through a qualified revenue decline or a potential business suspension that made them reduce the way or restrict the way that they dealt with their clientele by following a COVID 19 order, then there's potential credits that are available to them based off the fact that they still paid employees while going through those struggles.
Oh wow.
And
So the government's basically saying if you did the right thing and you tried to help your employees out, we'll back you up on that, and here's a credit.
they are, and so the name actually throws people off, right? So they says it's the employee retention. Like, well, I lost employees, I don't qualify. Well, it's not that there's nobody here that's going to penalize anybody for having to lay somebody off or firing somebody. It's that you're being rewarded for the ones you did keep and that you were able to pay.
Mm.
And the payout on this can be pretty substantial for a business owner. So a business could get up to $5,000 per W-2 employee that they had in 2020. And then for 2021, when Congress made the changes, they made it more robust. And so now a business can also get in 2021 up to $7,000 per W-2 employee for each of the first 3 quarters. So you're looking at a max potential of $26,000 if for a single employee.
Really? Every quarter? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound like an infomercial or something like that. That's actually so every quarter in 2021. So Q1, Q2, Q3, 7K, 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 potentially if I kept them through that time.
Yep. And then that comes down to one, did you have a qualifying criteria during the time frame? How much did you pay the employee? But even a
Of course.
percentage of that is can still be substantial. I mean, a 10 employee company, they're looking at let's see, what do we got? 70s to 210, so about $260,000 of max potential. But even if they get half of that, I mean, they're not going to be upset when they get $130,000. So there's just a lot of opportunity out there for businesses that still need to hear about this.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, well, thank you for sharing that with me and and to my network. I hope this was super helpful for you guys to hear about because I personally have never heard of the employee retention credit and until Brian brought it up to me. But thank you, Brian, for sharing that. I'll leave a link to his profile down below if you guys want to go ahead and reach out to him and learn more about this. But yeah, thought I would share it with everyone because I know there's a lot of HR folks, a lot of controllers, CFOs, and salespeople out there in the payroll and tax world in my network. So definitely wanted to share it with you guys and keep you abreast on something that, hey, it's not my wheelhouse. So I'm happy to bring in the experts. Thank you so much, Brian.
Yeah, yeah, happy to help.